Hello everyone, today we have an OML 3M oscilloscope made in the USSR. This may be weird alien technology to you, but I'm well familiar with this one. I got this one for free and it was working. I opened it and it stopped working. So pretty much it used to have a sync issue, right? It wouldn't synchronize. So I opened it to find out why it doesn't synchronize. And then when opening it and plugging it into the mains, it started making a loud bang, like a spark going off in it. And what we're gonna do is, I'm not even gonna dim bulb it because that dim bulb, it just doesn't want to do this. It just doesn't even light up when you plug it in there. So pretty much what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it over on its side, and we're gonna get this like that. And I might plug it in to see where it blows, because there's no visual damage on it. At least I don't think there is. So, yeah, we might have to figure out where it explodes, right? Where there's a loud bang that you can hear. It is on. I've turned it on, unfortunately. So here's the mains, and I'm kind of worried about doing this. You know, this is a stupid idea. You should never. All right, go. Whoa, whoa. That's the high voltage. That's very dangerous. Alright, assistant, please disconnect it from mains. Thank you very much. Well, we figured it out. There's high voltage in it that's leaking and exploding, which is not a good thing. That's no, that shouldn't be occurring. So we're waiting for it to discharge on its own. It will take like a few minutes, and then we'll figure it out from there. Alright, so I waited for it to discharge. I thanked my assistant for the help. So here's where our issue lies. That trace has been completely burned, and it's carrying some voltage because it's sparking. It's just making a loud spark. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fix that trace. It's this one right here. So I'm gonna disconnect this trace. I'm gonna cut it, and we'll jump it from wherever to wherever so that we don't have a breakdown, I guess. Alright, so what I didn't even cut the trace and repair it. It was fine, but this is where there's high voltage, I assume. Let me just get that. Pretty much, it was jumping from here to here, and that probably killed something, but I'm not sure what. How much you want to bet that we didn't fix it? Oh, shit. Did we actually fix it? Whole easy repair. It was just shorted for whatever reason. It was dirty there. There was probably like a tin whisker, something of the sort of this right here. If we can get that. Yeah, something like that, but even thinner. I was shorting those traces, and using my trusty screwdriver, I poked it out and I fixed it. So that's great. Alright, so I reconnected what needs to be reconnected for the X and Y boards. So here, on this board, it's good to label these. They're labeled from the factory, but this may wear off. So one of these goes to 22, 22nd connector, the other is 23. I like to color code them with some markers here that I have, like this red one. And here, for example, it's blue and red, so that you know. But there it's already written black marker when it was last opened. I got this from a guy and from the forum, and he said that he used to use this for TV repair, and he's changed one of the ICs with 2 Bulgarian transistors, which I have big respect for doing that. That's great. So that's cool. And now what we need to do is we need to figure out why it doesn't synchronize. So I'm going to turn it around like this. There we are. And I might dim bulb it now because there's no reason why the dim bulb wouldn't help right now, because it's not arcing. So yeah, we'll dim bulb it really quickly, and oh, there we go. Got something for a second. Like below the fuse? I wonder. The fuse isn't like a bayonet cover. We can open it and inspect. There we are. Let's take the fuse out. I'm doing this one-handed. Let's take a look. It doesn't appear to be blown, I think. We'll test it with a meter. Meter tests it as a good fuse, so the dim bulb is making an issue. I'll just plug it straight into mains. Nothing can really go wrong in this. I think it's kind of over-exaggerated how, you know, some YouTubers for vintage electronics, especially the CRT guys, you must discharge the CRT before working on it, which I agree, it's an important rule, but guys, do we really have to be that paranoid about something like this? It's relatively modern, so it does have discharge capacitors. I understand from the 1950s stuff, but this is made in the 80s. Alright, nothing can explode. The brightness is up, so we should get a raster if it decides to, you know. We wait. I did reconnect it correctly, so I'm not sure if... Is it on even? Oh, there we go. Alright. There we are, we have a raster. Good. Let's set the time base to something that, alright, put it there. Stretch it. Unfortunately, now it doesn't really want to stretch. Huh. Alright, let's see. The dot that runs away. That means we haven't set a time base on it. Huh. Wait. Alright. Now, I've done something. Huh. Focus doesn't do much. Oh, what about if I screw around with these? What'll that do? Alright. Let's try to get like a line going. Oh, there we are. Let's see how far we can spread it. Unfortunately, oh. Well, that's as far as we're going to get with it, I think. Let's see. Well, we do have raster, which is good. I'm going to try some of the buttons here, see what effect they do. I have a suspicion as to why it's doing this. And we can't stretch the beam too far. But the time base seems to be working. Focus is working now. Brightness, that's correct. Well, we're getting something at least. Alright, that's a good start. Pretty much, there's a metal piece right here. This is supposed to go on this board. You can see where I've even desoldered it. And without this metal piece, it may be causing some interference in the sync circuit. The CRT may, or some component may not be liking it. So, we're gonna put it back. Or do we actually need to put it back? I'm gonna find a probe that I got for it, and we're gonna put it in here. This is the original input, actually, and we're going to see if the oscilloscope is oscilloscoping. Set some other time base. Yeah, well, the oscilloscope is oscilloscoping. But I don't think that's its normal behavior. Wait, what if this lets us stretch the beam? No, it just doesn't. So it's like stuck on one side. There we go. The oscilloscope is being an oscilloscope, as we can see. So I'm going to solder this back. I'm going to turn it off here. And disconnect it from the mains. And we're going to solder this metal shield back. And hopefully that restores our beam completely. And from there on, I have printed all the stuff there in my service documentation folder. And we will check out what it's doing. So after soldering with this thing, as you can see, it's a professional tool and buckets of solder. Well, it doesn't really restore the ground connection because there's constantly a ground connection here. But hopefully we've done good, and when we turn it on, it will work. So let's have this on here. Oh, 22 and 23 got disconnected. Give me 1 second. Well, that should do it, I guess. So it's on. Let's turn the brightness to the max, and well, I don't think anything can go wrong. Alright, now we wait for raster to appear, and we're going to see if we can again get a full line across the screen like I used to before. Maybe because it's disassembled, but I couldn't tell you actually, so yeah. Oh, that did have an effect. Yeah, nice. We have full raster now. Great. Well, I knew it. This, when I disconnected this, it may have, there might have been like a. Okay, I need to explain why for why I disconnected it at all. Pretty much, I thought the explosion was here because when I turned it on once, I saw a spark from this area. Like, it was like this, and I saw a spark, and I was like, okay, maybe from this. Turns out it was from the high voltage. Thank God. And wasn't from this. And I removed the shield for nothing, and I soldered it back, and now we have a full line across the screen, which is good. Second. Now that we got that out of the way, we can now sort of see the entire board. Now we need to identify the components responsible for sync. So it says here V20 and V21. We're going to use our eyes to find those, and I already found them right here. These Russian transistors, these are the KT ones. They're in a weird package, kind of like candy. You really want to eat them, but you shouldn't. So as you can see, V20, V21 is that V21? Yep, they're all one after the other. So now we need to check on our schematic here. So we have sync 2, 3, 1. This is responsible for the this potentiometer right here. So first, sync 7 is connected here, and that goes all the way. Where does that go to? Here. So we need to check what is that? V17. 3 goes to these transistors, which I admit can be bad, but we're not sure yet. And then sync 4 goes to these diodes, V27, V28, and V29. Those go to ground, but we also have some weird stuff. Vchod synchronizacja. This is this would be here. So we're going to be suspicious of this entire circuit for now, and we're going to start by checking some stuff here. I want to see this 10 microfarads capacitor. How is it labeled? C10. So let's find him, and it's electrolytic, I think, but I think it's been replaced by a previous owner. Oh, C10, there it is. So there's C10. It's a brand new capacitor. Should be okay. I'll wait for it a little. Let's also see other stuff. But our problem can also go all the way to here, where the Zener diodes, V10, V11, V12. No, these are not Zeners, but this one's the Zener. So our problem can trace either from here to all the way to here. V26, V22, 20, 21, 24, 25. So V20, 21, 25, 24. So we need to be suspicious of these guys, but we also need to check some other stuff. I like to see these diodes. What are they labeled as? Let me see. V27. Let's find those diodes, because they're kind of... Let's check. V12. There's a resistor missing. R57. Whatever that does, it's not in the sync circuit, so it should be okay. So I'm gonna start analyzing this, and I'll get back to you. So these are standard Bulgarian 2T31 67s. These were made in 1970 specifically. We're gonna stick them in the transistor tester, and it's gonna tell us what this is. BJT-NPN. Nice. 400, gain 400. I think they're not that high. Let's see the other guy. What it has to say about him. Yeah, the gain is quite mismatched. I think that the gain should be in the right ballpark. I think here it matters. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go get some transistors of the same type and try to check the scheme and see the gain. Actually, V15. All right, V15. They've given it as V16. I don't really see it. V16, V18, V14. Oh, V15 KR159 HT1E. Alright, I'm going to check what that is. Alright, the amplification coefficient should be lower than 80, so I'm going to go get some NPN transistors. I'm going to try to see if we can match the coefficient, because what this chip is, it's pretty much just a few transistors that have been botched together into like a small package with specific coefficients. I'm gonna go get some NPNs. I'll be right back. So pretty much what I'm gonna do right now is I've put in those two transistors on. You could say that this is pretty much just a pin, a socket for chips. I cut like a scrap socket and I added it there, so we can pull out some transistors. Like I have these NPN ones here, and some diodes which are unrelated, but I just have a ton. I'm going to swap around some transistors and see what effect it does, just for the meme of it, pretty much. Is this on? Yeah, that's on. Okay. Now we'll turn it on. Hopefully we have raster again. The oscilloscope, the screen is screening right now. We can turn that off, because that could also be an issue. We'll set the time base to that so we can actually see something. I doubt raster is going to return, but we'll wait. The tubing, as you can see, is heating, I guess, but I don't know how good it can get that. Well, yeah, we have nothing. Ooh, scary. So we have pretty much nothing. If it's these connectors. But no, I don't think we even... Huh. I wonder why. Are those good? Yeah, I don't know why we're not getting any raster. There's a wire here that's missing, but it shouldn't really affect, because it's for the time base, not for... Because when you turn it off, I wonder if we're going to see a green dot when we turn it off. Nope, no green dot. Well, I don't understand. Bring your hand close, because there's voltage here that's pretty deadly. Well, I don't think it's deadly, but it's not a good idea to bring your hand near it. But we have no raster yet again. That's cool. Touching the transistors in case they're not making good connections. Well, as I thought, we've generated a new problem. We don't have anything on the screen now. Yeah. So, I don't know why. Oh, there we go. We did get the green dot there for a second. So pretty much here in the scheme, there's something that's not doing its job properly. I wonder if those transistors, I've maybe no idea what I've done. I'll look around and see what I can find. So here's what I did for the uninitiated. That's socket. And I've pretty much just put the transistors there. I wonder if I've got them wrong or something. I mean, I put them in as I remember they were in, so I don't think it's going to be that, but I'll put these back before I forget how they went in. There we are. So that's how the transistors are. So I don't know why it's not generating like a raster now that I disconnected it. It could be because of these stupid connectors here for the CRT. They could be bad, and they could not be. They could also not just be working here. I have replacements for these transistors, so it's not deadly if these aren't working. These are the. I'm pretty sure this is the vertical and horizontal, but I'm not. I could be lying to you, so don't take that. But there's this wire here that's broken. I don't know where it goes, and it's safe to assume that it's either it never was connected, or that it's not really that important. But I'll try to trace it back to where it comes from and see. Like so, it goes like that under there. Well, it's for the time base, I'm pretty sure, but we have to check exactly where it goes. It could be a poor contact in these guys, and this used to also be a chip that was replaced with these two little guys. I don't really see why it wouldn't work. I don't really get it, except for these connectors. That could also be an issue. It could be also these guys here. It could be on this board even. But I'm not like 100% positive it's them. So, well, what we're going to do is we're going to try to connect these properly, like really hard, and see what it does. Again, probably nothing will change. So, I made the connection firm, so hopefully now we get a raster or something going on the screen. Is it on? Yep. I can hear the transformer transforming right now, so now hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers here, we do get something on the screen. I'm gonna get the probe out, and if I touch it, it may generate something, but I'm touching it, so we're not getting any raster yet again. Which is weird. I don't really get why we wouldn't be getting anything on the screen. On the buttons here. None of them seem to, like, you know, change the effect of it, so the pots, we don't have any video probably. No, I mean video, what am I saying? We probably don't have anything even generated for it to even show, so it's cool. Okay, well, that's not good. Pretty much, what if poor contact in the wall socket? Because I've had that happen once or twice. It doesn't seem to be. Yeah, there's the green dot for a second, but we're not getting anything generated. So, I need to think this over in my head. Well, I think we have... So we have high voltage. We do have something, but it's not... The vertical board is not... The X and Y boards are not generating anything. That leads me to believe that there's an issue on either one of these boards. I didn't actually say the idea for what the project is. The project is to try to fix this thing until the 3rd of April. So I think for tonight I'm going to call it quits, because I want to figure this out in my head and see why why we have no raster on the oscilloscope on the screen. I'll try to turn the problem over in my head. Hopefully it's not related to my horrible soldering, but I doubt it because that one looks worse. So, yeah, we're gonna call it quits for tonight, and hopefully the problem turns over